remain vigilant and to face the challenges of change. The unprecedented ferocity of COVID-19 pandemic threw the entire world into disarray, disrupting business models and supply chains. Managers went into damage control as the resulting paradigm shift at the workplaces created upheavals among the workforce and status quo practices were challenged. If losing sleep over this wasn't enough, the post-pandemic green statements of the workforce came with plethora of challenges for the managers. Albeit, this also meant that employees across organizations had a field day mining up opportunities. Disruptions across domains led to the creating of new avenues that defined the creation of new norms of human resource management and proved to be the light at the tail end of the metaphoric tunnel of COVID-19. Today, a clarion call has been issued to all HR leaders globally. The onus is on the entire industry to join force and redesign the work for future. Ladies and gentlemen, we are elated to warmly welcome you to our much anticipated event, the HR Conclave 2023 of GL Bajaj Institute of Technology and Management. A very warm good morning to the august gathering present here. After going online for last 3 years, the flagship gathering of GL Bajaj Institute returns in an offline mode. After convening accomplished corporate leaders under whose aegis we will delve into the subtle intricacies of human resource management in this challenging world. I, Dr. Nivedita Singh, on behalf of GL Bajaj Institute of Technology and Management, would like to extend a warm welcome to our chief guest, Mr. Sunil Goyal, sir, Chief Executive Officer, Sopra Banking Software India, Dr. Manas Kumar Mishra, sir, Director, GL Bajaj Institute of Technology and Management, Ms. Manju Khatri, ma'am, Director, Training and Placement, GLB ITM, Mr. Anil Khatri, sir, Vice President, Industry Academia, all distinguished guests and delegates, all the heads of departments and eminent faculties present here. Light illuminates us to embark on path of self-realization by eliminating darkness and all the insecurities. Hence, to commence the conclave on an auspicious note, I would like to humbly request our acclaimed chief guest, sir, esteemed dignitaries, honorable directors, sir, and respected Manju ma'am and Anil sir, to join us for lighting the lamp.
Okay, cover.
Thank you so much all for uplifting the spirits of the audience. Before we proceed with the event, I would like to take the opportunity to express our gratitude to our Honorable Chief Guest, sir, for sparing his valuable time in such a short notice to bless the gathering here. Respected Director Sir, all the distinguished guests and faculty members who have spared time out of their busy schedule to add on this occasion with in the august presence. I would like to request Director Sir to welcome our chief guest with a sapling and adore the occasion. Now I request Manju Khatri ma'am to please welcome our respected Director Sir with the sapling. Thank you, ma'am. Vakratund Mahakaya, Surya Koti Samaprabha, Nirvignam Kurme Deva, Sarvakarishu Sarvata. Let us make a pious beginning of our HR conclave through Ganesh Vandana by Soumya.
गणनायकाय गणदैवताय गणाध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणमण्डिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि गन्धर्वराजाय गन्धाय गन्धर्वगानश्रवणप्रणयिने
गाढानुरागाय ग्रन्थाय गीताय ग्रन्थार्थतत्त्वविदे
गुणवते गणपतये ग्रन्थगीताय ग्रन्थगेयाय ग्रन्थान्तरात्मने गीतलीनाय गीताश्रयाय गीतवाद्यपटवे गेयचरिताय गायकवराय गन्धर्ववीकृते कायकाधीन विग्रहाय गङ्गाजलप्रणयवते गौरीस्तनन्धनाय गौरीहृदयनन्दनाय गौरभानुसुताय गौरीगणेश्वराय एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि
जटाकविगलच्चरप्रवाहपावितस्तरे कलेवलम्ब्य लम्बिताम्बुजङ्गलोकपालिकामट्टमट्टमट्टमन्निनादमट्टमर्वयुच्चकारचण्डताण्डवं तनोतु नः शिवं जटाकटाः सम्भ्रमप्रमन्नितिं वल्लवी विराजमानमन्थरे किशोरचन्द्रशेखरे रतिप्रतीक्षाम् सदा शिवं भजाम्यहं सदा शिवं भजाम्यहम् ॐ नमः शिवाय
Thank you so much, Soumya, for such a lovely performance. We at GL Bajaj are blessed enough to work under the guidance of eminent leaders. I humbly request our one of most respected Mr. Anil Khatri Sir, Vice President, Industry Academia GLB ITM, to please welcome the August gathering and commence the beginning of HR conclave. So please.
So good morning to one and all. Our Vice Chairman, Shri 𝐸𝐴𝐺𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐢𝐵 ji, due to some last moment reasons, could not turn up. So I'm really honored to address this August gathering and welcome you all. So on behalf of our Vice Chairman, Shri Pankaj Agarwal ji, entire GL Bajaj Institute and myself, I would begin by welcoming our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Sunil Goyal, a very dynamic CEO of Supriya Banking. Sir, we are very thankful to you for accepting this invitation and taking out time. I know how busy the schedule is. I am also delighted to welcome such industry stalwarts. You can see each one by himself not only a thorough professional but thought leaders, and I think it's going to be very exciting and also enjoyable to be hearing their discussions on very relevant topics. So thank you all for participating and agreeing to be a part of this. I also extend my greetings to all the industry stalwarts, delegates, who also by themselves are having a lot of experience. And I know they would also have had some schedules or weekend plans. So thanks for accepting the invitation. Warm welcome to all of you. I also welcome our HR team delegates, who are also our partners and co-hosts for this event. So it's great to be organizing this event with them, and we look forward for a good experience and future such events as well. And last, I would welcome all my colleagues from GL Bajaj, our respected HODs, faculties, students, staff, both teaching and non-teaching, and a special welcome to our training and placement department and also MBA department. And last but not the least, special welcome to also our directors, Director Dr. Manas and TNP Director Manju ma'am, for guiding us for this. So for me, these themes which we have selected from many other themes, they are very pertinent in the existing conditions. See, HR has been, you can say, the backbone or the thing not to be ignored right from beginning, right from the time of Darwin, when he said, adapt to the surroundings, then Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and recently events like Corona. I know so many strategies are made by the organization through these thought leaders, and of late it has become like almost as dynamic as IT progress. So I think HR has been one of the main pillars, and I think every sector, for me, every sector, whether it's industry or whether it is education or whether it is even family life, how we deal with in education, everything has an element of HR. So this is something, whatever we say that, AI is going to come and VR, AR, or maybe artificial intelligence, but it is never going to be replacing HR. Maybe it will be used by HR or it will be complemented. And this is I think this is one area which is so challenging because the variables are so much at any given time and different times. Expectations from different people, bosses, organizations. It is all the time a challenge to be, satisfying all, or even meeting the needs of all. So, like if you want to become a hero, you have to have HR, because hero has HR in it, if you observe. So, yes, so while the HR professionals are heroes, I think every one of us has some hero element in him for that. But remember, like I find as long as you're hire mode, you're hero. It's also as hire, also as HR. The moment you remove the H and fire mode, you become villains. So it is not that easy that you are all the time heroes, because at the time of boom, fine. But at the time of recession, which is one of the topics, what else? You have to bell the cat, like, the unpleasant task of maybe firing people as well. So that is one topic, like I would love to hear how the organizations are planning to deal with this situation, because it has a direct bearing on education institutes like us, which depend so much on the industry as a customer. So I think why I say it's challenging, HR, because HR has the task of motivating the employees to work hard for 8 hours. Now, who likes to work hard? Like, like when I think Mr. Edgar has said, hard work never killed anyone. But then why take a chance? Correct? So hard work is something which people tend to avoid. Of course, we are talking about smart work and all. So you have the task of motivating the employees to work hard for 8 hours so that he becomes the boss. And then you have the task of motivating the boss to work hard for 12 hours. Correct? So it's not that, the task is all the time motivation, it's non-ending, and challenges are there. So we would like to hear, like, in this adverse conditions or uncertainty, I will not call adverse also, because right now we are talking about whether it's a myth or reality. We don't know. Some places it's a myth, some places it's a reality. So how we deal with it, it will be very interesting to have the sides from the panels as well as, industry stalwarts sitting from there. I think some smart strategies will also be upcoming, like Bill Gates said that I like to employ a lazy person because he'll find an easy way of doing it. So that is one of the strategy he made, which is quite interesting and innovative. So we look upon from some innovative strategies, because I think one of the things which comes to mind is not just the part of remuneration and jobs, it's how to make people happily work. Because nowadays happiness, mental health, EQ is equally important if you want productivity. So we will look forward to guidance from the speakers on that. And they have always innovative ways of conducting recruitment. So what I want to say is, for us, we are very lucky that most of the people sitting here are not only our recruiters, but they have developed a bond with us, relationship. They are mentors, friends, and guide, taking part in the process. So I'm very, from the heart, thankful to all of you, and the ones who are joining with us now. I assure you that will be the spirit with which we will continue. So talking about innovative HR practices, I want to give one instance. Maybe some of you have heard it. So there was one interview going on. So one of the student who gave the interview came out with a sort of a long face. So his colleague asked him, like, how did the interview go? So it was saying it was going well. Then they asked me, like, if you're traveling in a train and you're sitting in the train and it's getting hot, windows are closed, what will you do? So I said, I'll open the window. I said, okay, if you open the window size is 2 feet by 2 feet, and the train is traveling a speed of 120 kilometers per hour towards northeast, and the wind is blowing towards west at the speed of 20 kilometers. So what is the volume of air that will be coming in 1 minute? So the student said, I lost all my relative motion concepts, all the geometry and everything. I just got stunned and I could not answer, and that was the end of the interview. So the next guy goes in. So as usual, the HR people, to make him comfortable, asked him about his name, hobbies, strengths, family and all that. And then they came to this question, same again, to check the psychology, that if you're traveling in a train, it's with all windows, doors closed, and you're feeling hot, what will you do? So the person said, so I'll put on the fan. Said, okay, you'll put on the fan, but suppose the switch is not working. Then what will you do? He said, I'll take out my blazer. Okay, then also if you are feeling hot, what will you do? So he said, sir, आप कुछ भी कर लीजिए, मैं गर्मी से मर जाऊंगा लेकिन खिड़की नहीं होगी. So I see that innovation is there even from HR, students, and innovation is a thing which all are looking for, and I will really see what are the innovative ways which we are going to design. Okay. Regarding the bad times, good times, again, man has been evolving and dealing with it, including HR. So in that context, I would like to read out a few lines. तीर को भी आगे छोड़ने से पहले पीछे खींचना पड़ता है. तीर को भी आगे छोड़ने से पहले पीछे खींचना पड़ता है. उसी तरह अच्छे दिनों के लिए बुरे दिनों से लड़ना पड़ता है. So I think what I call bure could be what you look upon as bure din, threat or opportunity, how to convert threat into opportunities, how to convert weakness into strength. I mean, all a season, and I think we have done it for past during Corona. We did it for the Ukraine war. Now uncertainties are there. We will do it. But how the important part is that how we had a soft landing, and how we can see that it doesn't lead to suicides, and frustrations. So this is the challenge we are facing. So from my side, we say that our institute is committed. Each and every person from our institute is committed to satisfying our customers. So besides academics, research, we are going to be treating you as our friends, mentors and customers, and be guided by you what is the best way forward. Whether it is employment, entrepreneurship, startups, we are very much alive to this and look forward. And I would like to, some few lines which I found inspirational. I would like to end with that. काम करो ऐसा कि एक पहचान बन जाए. काम करो ऐसा कि एक पहचान बन जाए. हर कदम ऐसा चलो कि निशान बन जाए. यहाँ जिंदगी तो हर कोई काट लेता है. जिंदगी जो जियो इस कदर कि मिसाल बन जाए. So with this, I would say that we all should aim for that. That each step of ours becomes a landmark footprint, and our whatever practices we follow. Yeah. And I'm sure all of you who have taken out time will find this worthwhile. And all the best to our panelists. And I hope it becomes an interactive action. And from our side, we are committed to interacting with you and taking your feedback. So once again, from my heart, I welcome you all and wish you all the enjoyment and knowledge during the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for commencing the beginning of the HR Conclave 2023. And very rightly said that HR are the unofficial psychologist, event planner, peacemaker, lawyers, and teachers indeed. But they may not be a superhero, but they are HR managers, very close enough. Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Leadership is the ability to guide others without force into directions or decisions that leave them still feeling empowered and accomplished. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome one such awe-inspiring leader, Mr. Sunil Goyal, sir, Chief Executive Officer at SPHRi Banking Software India. Can we have a big round of applause for sir? Sunil Goyal, sir, is currently Deputy Chief Executive Officer of SPHRi Stevia India. He is responsible for all functions, including software delivery, HR, IT, finance, and administration, and whatnot. His passion has always been people and processes. Sunil, sir, was one of the most popular students of the class always because of his excellent relation building skills. He was one of the first to congratulate on others' success always. He continues to strengthen these traits still. Sir has been instrumental in setting up a highly performance-driven culture at the centers. He has been role model for almost everyone who ever crossed path in his professional journey. He was courageous enough to incorporate Momentum India, an organization with almost nil seed capital, in the year 1993. Along with his co-founder, he grew the company from 2 to 40 people in 5 years and became one of the largest channel sales partner for Wipro Infotech for their IT products in India. Sir's commendable leadership and defining risk-taking ability was instrumental in diversifying organization into software services business and subsequently raising 1.5 million USD funding from Citibank. He was part of the management team that engineered Momentum's acquisition by Neville and Bajaj, which was subsequently acquired by SPHRi Group. His career path is a reflection of his excellent team building and leadership qualities. Without any further ado, I would like to welcome our respected chief guest, sir, Mr. Sunil Goyal, sir, to address the gathering and share his insightful thoughts with us. So please.
Very, very good morning to all of you. I put a timer so that I don't extend my time. Thank you, Director Mr. Manas, for inviting me here, Professor Khatri, all the faculty members, my fellow industry people, the panelists, and dear students. But indeed, it's a great pleasure to be here. I mean, it's always welcoming back to go to the academia because this is what has given me the current position where I am, because it's all about education, you know, which is responsible for your success. I was looking at the, okay, maybe just before coming to that, so obviously there was a long introduction, so I'm not again going to bore you with this. But yes, I worked for 4 years before becoming an entrepreneur in '93 when startups were not known, the funding was not there, and obviously the salaries were not high enough to give you the money to have the seed capital. But I think we were very lucky enough to build a business along with my co-founder Pankaj, who in fact now is based in Canada. He also was my senior from IT Roorkee and he did his MBA from IIM Bangalore. And after that, we, as said earlier, we started the software business, which got acquired in 2005. So it's been 17 years that I'm still with the same organization. So I call my journey from an entrepreneur to a professional entrepreneur now. So the company SPHRi is actually was founded in 1968 by Mr. P.A. Pasky. He's 87 today, but he still comes to office 5 days a week, and he can still jog 5 kilometers thrice a week. So I think age is no bar, and maybe the culture which he created in the organization has encouraged me to stay here, because normally entrepreneurs, when they make money, either you go and retire or you become an angel investor or something else. But I decided to stay back primarily because of the entrepreneur culture in the organization. When we got acquired, we were 100 people. We built up the organization to 1,500, mostly working for European customers. And from there, we got merged with 𝐸𝐴 in 2015. I thought I'll have to leave because 𝐸𝐴 was much bigger than Supriya at that point of time, but the chairman trusted me to do the merger. Mergers are always a big challenge, where obviously the topic today, HR, plays a big role. But after the merger has happened, everyone forgets about the people investment and everything goes on only on the profitability and balance sheet. But I can very proudly say that I think we are one of the very few organizations, and I'm consciously using this word, in the world, not only in the country, where after merger, we did not ask even a single person to leave, whether it is in the functions, because Professor Khatri was talking about firing. I'll come to that again. And today, in my leadership team, I have a mixed leadership. My HR person is from Supriya, my finance person is from 𝐸𝐴, my delivery person is from 𝐸𝐴, the CEO is obviously from Supriya, so we have a complete mixed leadership. As of now, I don't have any other example of any other organization which has this. And that is where I think the people side plays a very important role. And as said earlier, yes, people have been my biggest passion. I almost spend 70 to 80% of my time with people. My biggest belief is that if you've hired the right people, you give them the right support, then you don't need managers to manage them. When they have a problem, you're there to extend a supporting hand, and that is what only people require. But unfortunately, when we become micromanagers, we don't want to delegate it, because delegation means also loss of authority. And as all CEOs have, they have their egos in their head. So obviously, losing power is not that very easy. But yeah, sometimes, very recently, I was away for a wedding of my very close friend's son for 3 days here in Greater Noida. And somewhere my ego got hurt, because for 3 days I received 0 call from my office. Because you also start feeling that whether you are required in the organization or not. But I think that's a beauty, and I have obviously some of my colleagues from the company, so they can correct later when I'm gone to say that whether I'm saying is right or not. Fortunately, I would have liked to stay for longer, but my boss is here and we have a lunch session. So I think both the topics which the panelists will address, and I think it's a great set of panelists who are here, will talk about it. And I don't want to take away the thunder from them, but I just thought I'll try to address both of these from my perspective, right? Obviously, recession, whether it's going to be there or not, typically when you talk about recession is coming, it's like wolf is coming, and then it doesn't come. My guess is possibly that's going to be there for recession, because we've been talking about it for a long. Obviously, the industry growth may be different, but I think what is going to be really different is how various countries are going to grow. And I think this is a decade for India, where we are already almost touching 3 trillion, and hopefully we'll touch the 5 trillion. It is predicted that we should be the second largest economy by 2047. And these are reports from all McKinsey or Bain or BCG, etc. Whether that happens or not, but I think whatever is being invested, I think it is taking us towards that. The only thing which I think will change is the industries within it. This morning I was reading, what do you think is the attrition in the EV industry? Electric vehicle industry. Any guesses? How much? 50% was the number which was published in today's paper. Today the IT industry's attrition now has come down to between 19 to 20%, which did go up 2 years back to almost close to 33-34%. Hospitality industry today, it's having an attrition of 45%. You go to any of the big 5-star hotels, whether it's Oberoi or Taj, and you ask them what's the challenge, it's a people challenge. And if you had asked the same question 2 years back, they were struggling with different issue, because they didn't have business, they had people. And how they treated their people at that time obviously will decide now how the business will run today. And that's where I think, we've been talking about a super VUCA world or a VUCA world, and I'm sure all of you have heard that term, which was coined by the American Army many years back, where V stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. But I think, obviously, all of us as consultants like to come out with new terms, because that also shows our existence, right? And very recently I was again reading of this word where they're saying that the VUCA world will now become the BANI world. BANI, again, B stands for brittle, anxious, N is non-linear, and I is incomprehensible. You know, when I try to compare both these two, I think they're almost similar except for the word non-linear doesn't come in VUCA, but rest of it, if you see, it's a similar. So I think all of us have to build this capacity or capability to handle ambiguities, which I think is today lacking in many professionals as well as many of our students, because as long as the line is straight, they can go. But the moment it becomes right or left, they don't know which path to take. I can give a very simple example. Many years back, I had a French guy who came to me in 2013 to handle my Bangalore office. He asked me, Sunil, what's your vision for Bangalore office? In fact, he was there with me yesterday because now he shifted to UK after 10 years. I gave him this article to read on VUCA. So next day he came and asked me, Sunil, what have you given me? I said, this is the strategy for Bangalore. That time Bangalore office was 4 people, so I didn't know what's going to happen, how it is going to grow, what office I'll have to have. I mean, at that point of time, we were sharing an office with another French company. Fast forward 9 years, that guy actually imbibed VUCA, I would say. He grew the Bangalore center from 4 to almost close to 400. We took up 3 different offices. In fact, now we have 500 people in Bangalore and very ready to expand to 1,000 people. So I think it's very, very key to understand this. The second is the non-linear aspect, which is again, ChatGPT. I think we've all heard about the latest AI fad. I'm sure all of you have tried it out. The 1 million subscribers it got was in 5 days. Whereas to get 1 million subscribers in Google took them 5 years. And that time we were saying 5 years is itself great, because the previous companies, they took almost 2 decades to reach to that 1 million subscriber. And that is the kind of growth which can we understand that, because human mind cannot understand exponential growths. In fact, there is a book written on exponential by one of the authors from the university in Bay Area. So I think that is also again going to be key, that can we really understand what exponential means. And this is where I think the first topic, which is recession, a myth or reality, whether it happens or doesn't happen, if we have the ability to handle ambiguity, uncertainties, or all these things related to anxiousness. I mean, Professor Khatri was talking about mental healthness, etc. Yes, these are very, very important topics. If we can do it, I'm sure we'll be able to handle the recession aspect. Because last 3 years, what it has shown us is resilience, which means first understanding where we have reached, then course correct it, and then bounce back. And that is where I think all these 2 things, whether it's VUCA or BANI, becomes important, that it helps you to be resilient, and that I think will be the core competency which every person will require. Also, I think, Professor Khatri, you were talking about H, hero, HR. One of the things I've never been able to understand so far is, and I've spoken about this in many forums, we always talk about, HR should be the business partner of the CEO. But we never talk about that finance should be the business partner, or sales should be a business partner, or production should be a business partner. So why should HR be treated separately? HR is also another business enabling functions like any of them. And it should be a co-function. So maybe, I don't know if it's HR fraternity which has made it thing, or it is our academia which is teaching that HR is different. No, I personally feel HR is a core function like anyone else, and the buy-in has to directly come from the CEO. Otherwise, it will never succeed. Whatever policies you may make, whatever things you do, unless the CEO and the board believes in it. And obviously, recently we've had examples where some CHROs have also become CEOs, like Dr. Sandrup Mishra and many of them, right? So I think that's very, very key. And again, just to touch the topic very lightly, I know I have limited time, but we also went through the similar scenario in 2000. We had a large business in aerospace and hospitality. Unfortunately, that became cut down by 60%. It was a pandemic time. We were thinking, what do we do? And for almost like 8-9 months, we had almost 1,200 people on the bench where we were paying them without getting anything back in return. And that was a time when I was pushed to see that, yes, what you should do. Obviously, we say that people should support you in tough times, so the company also should support people in their tough times. It's mutual, otherwise the trust does not exist. And there is a big trust deficit today between the employer-employer and employer-employee. So to address this, I was going through my own, I would say, challenges, confusion, issues, anxiety, that how do I handle it? And that's where I had read Gita in 2021. Some of the principles from there helped me to address it. It said, yeah, business is my karma. I have to take care of my people. and shareholders are also part of the business because there's one of the three axes. So as long as you can balance those three axes, there is nothing wrong you're doing. Because if I am not, I'm not justifiable to the business or to the shareholders, then I'm doing something which is not right and it is not my karma. And that's where we took some decisions where we had to ask some of our colleagues to part with us. But the way which we did was very different. Our managers went through training. There was a manager and HR person when they were talking to the person. We ensured we take care for them during the whole COVID period, whether it was medical insurance or the salary or access to portal for mental health, etc. And I ensured, I'm using the word I here, I know, that if any person calls up, even I should be accessible to him. So there were 4 or 5 people who called me up, they wanted to talk to me because the people get anxious, losing a job is not that easy. But we spoke to them. We also ensured outplacement through right management, etc., etc. And I can say, even before the industry picked up in the second half of 2021, all those 120 or 130 people had a job. And even if they did not have a job, they came back to us and said, whenever Supriya is hiring, can you get us back? Now this is something which we forget. Google, unfortunately my son works for this company, but the way they did this exit was not something as a role model. Google has been my role model for hiring and people practices. But what they did during this last few weeks, whether it is Google or Salesforce or so many companies, I think they have not followed basic ethics or basic principles the way they should have done. So that's, I think, very key. The second topic, evolving role of HR. I mean, this I have already said from my perspective. It is a key role. HR and business and the CEO, they have to work very, very closely with each other to see that what are the right business practice. And, I think earlier we used this word chief entertainment officer, fun. I mean, these are all okay, but these are some, as we say, side dishes. These are side things, this is okay to do. But that's not the core. The core is to see that because n number of surveys which have been done, that shows that a large percentage, 57% of the people leave because of toxic environment. 40% of the people leave because of toxic bosses. Compensation still comes at the level 5. The third biggest thing is people leave because they're not seeing that their career is growing, it is becoming stable. So I think that is where HR plays a big role. Today we have n number of open surveys like Glassdoor or Ambition Box. We also conduct our surveys. But once we have done, are we really going and listening to them? Obviously now the things have changed from a periodic surveys to a continuous surveys. I mean, you have a lot of tools, including, there are a lot of startups which are in that phase. But it's not only enough to put those tools. After you put that tool, right from the chairman to the CEO to the bottom below, are you hearing what people are talking about you? And not the good things. Today when I look at comments from Glassdoor, I don't look at culture is good and work-life balance and this and that, no. I look for the comments which people have put where they're saying this is something wrong. And we try to go and try to address it wherever possible. So today I think technology has made it easy to listen to our people, but importance is, are we listening to them? The second part where I think HR or any business, as long as you're handling transactions, you're happy because it keeps you busy. You get few transactions, you get busy in there and you think that you've done your day. No. Technology is going to replace all transactional part of HR. And this I said not today, but in 2005. I in fact wrote an article for People Matters at that point of time saying that the transactional part of HR should go completely to technology. Earlier we used to have 10 people in the payroll doing the calculations, HR, finance, spending their midnight oil to give the salary. Today you don't require that, a press of a button and it is there. Same thing we did. At the merger time I said, why do we require to build this software? Today you have SaaS companies which are doing it. Even income tax consulting, you don't require a CA to do it. Your software will do that for you. So I think what's very important for HR is also to embrace technology and not consider it as a competition. Consider it that they are a part of it. This is what is going to help them to make things better. Like as I said, to remove the toxic culture, you need to constantly listen to your people. Whether you do that using Infido or any other software, but if you're able to felicitate that your leaders to make that happen, a lot of things can get solved. But yes, technology is going to be a big disruptor, and that is where I think more and more things will happen on the strategic side, where yes, how to take the organization forward. If things change, how to course correct it, how to bring it back on track. I think these are things which will become very, very important. So thank you very much again for giving me this opportunity, for your patience listening, and have a great two panel discussions with you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing your valuable views with us, sir. It has undoubtedly enlightened the minds of aspiring leaders and set the tone for today's proceedings. Now I would like to request respected Manju ma'am to felicitate our chief guest, sir, with token of gratitude from GLB ITM.
From the Mathura, so Banke Bihari is supposed to be Thank you. Thank you. Okay, sir.
This is too much, I think, for
No, somebody else will.
So we'll provide escort to help you with this.
I think we should make a rule that the industry should not accept anything for that.
No, this is something. Oh, this
Thank you very much.
I will welcome your host.
Thank you and have a great day.
So we are blessed to have you here. Thank you so much, sir. Leaders don't force people to follow. They invite them on a journey. We are indeed at GL Bajaj are blessed to be under the aegis of one such wonderful leader. Professor Manas Kumar Mishra, Director, GL Bajaj Education Institutions. I would right now request our Honorable Director, sir, so please come here and introduce the gathering with our institution and share your words of wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nivedita. By the time this gets on, good morning, one and all. Though the chief guest has left the venue, I thank him on behalf of the entire GL Bajaj fraternity to be present, to find time out of his busy schedule to grace the occasion. I welcome all the panelists, all the HR people, representation from different industries, and heads of the departments, various deans and directors, dear faculty colleagues, and my dear students. In the morning I was feeling like, छोटा किसान जो होता है, वो जो भी प्रोड्यूस करता है, छोटे छोटे दुकानदार या कोई आके खरीद लेता है. When you have HR conclave, ऐसा लग रहा है मैं एक होलसेल मार्केट में आ गया हूँ, and I'm finding it a little difficult, अब मैं क्या सब्जी उगा रहा हूँ या जो भी बन रहा है यहाँ GL बजाज में, वो आप लोग अप्रिशिएट करें, और शायद इस किसान संघ का मुखिया बनने के तौर पे ये मेरी जिम्मेदारी है कि मैं वो सारी सब्जियाँ आपको दिखाऊं. So I'm privileged to have this opportunity to place before you the achievements of the institute. और जैसे खत्री साहब ने कहा HR हीरो होता है, मैं सोच रहा था कि जो E और O है उसको सुनील सर ने भी अपने स्पीच में कहा, मुझे लगा कि एम्प्लॉयर और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के बीच में R का रिलेशन जो है HR एस्टैब्लिश करता है. डर खाली इसी बात का है क्योंकि हम लोग इंजीनियरिंग प्रोड्यूसिंग इंस्टीट्यूट है मेजरली, मुझे लगता है वो इंजीनियर ना हो और ऐसा ना हो HR के बीच में स्क्वीज होके ज़ीरो आउटपुट निकाले, है ना. सो दैट्स द ओनली फियर आई हैव. और जब जैसे मैंने सब्जी की बात की, व्हेन आई एम शोइंग दिस, अगर आप कहेंगे कि कॉलीफ्लावर सही नहीं है, ब्रोकोली से रिप्लेस कर दीजिए, वी कैन डू दैट. खाली डर ये है कि मैं हरा धनिया प्रोड्यूस कर रहा हूँ, ऐसा ना हो कि आप पीला नीला बैंगनी मांगने लगे, because of the recession. So I'm looking forward to the panel discussions, and so that we get together to find out the ways how we can tackle through this recession if it is going to come, and the changing environment that the industry is offering from the academia point of view. So at the outset, I welcome on the behalf of GL Bajaj Institute to all of you. We are part of a group called as Rajiv Memorial Academy Welfare Society, particularly based out of Mathura. We have 11 institutes under this group, 11th being the recently inducted College of Technology and Management out of Greater Noida only. And GL Bajaj was established under the aegis of Rajiv Memorial Welfare Society in the year 2005. So the journey has been around 17 plus years. Our vision is to build an institute which provides professionally competent and socially sensitive engineers. And we are on the mission to provide the latest technologies for the student to develop the qualities of leadership, professionalism, and corporate understanding. Obviously, for corporate understanding, we need your cooperation as well. And thank that all of you extend that cooperation from various time to time. As I said, I welcome you all on behalf of the GLB fraternity. When we talk about GLB fraternity, we are talking about some 5,000 plus students and studying in different courses. We offer 11 undergraduate and 3 postgraduate programs, and around 500 faculty and staff together. And the beauty is, as I always proudly say, we flock together. We have established as a part of the latest technology certain center of excellences. We have an Apple Center, particularly for iOS development. We have got Design and Innovation Center for the mechanical designing. We have got ABB Robotics Milling and Welding Center. We have got MTAB, computer-aided machining. We also have Siemens and mechatronics lab and so on and so forth. As per the recognitions are concerned, all the engineering streams or programs which are eligible are NBS accredited. We have been listed 4 times in NIRF. For last 2 years, we have been under 200. We have recently got the 𝐈𝐧𝐻, QS 𝐈𝐧𝐻 ranking. Overall, we got diamond. On few of the sub part, we also got platinum as well. We have been very actively involved in IIC and has been rated highest star for last 4 years. We also being ranked in excellent band under ARIA for last 2 years. As a part of the latest technology, the latest addition to that group is an NVIDIA AI Learning and Research Center powered by NVIDIA DGX A100, and this machine happens to be one of its kind in this part of the country. So we realize with all those recognitions and all those that GL Bajaj is born to fly high. Of course, GLBNs, the students, are born to fly high as well. The talent pool is, if we reflect on the talent pool, we have got certain international offers backed by our students. This year, we have the highest offer, which the placement is still going on. We got a highest offer of 58 lakhs from Palo Alto. Last year, we had highest offer of 47, 45 and 44 and so on and so forth. A few of the statistics of few companies which hired more. Just to add, this year we have got around 200 plus, 10 lakh plus offers and around 30 plus, 20 lakh plus offers. These are the few prominent paymasters of last batch. as well as a few more recruiter lists. We also try to give the student enough opportunity to innovate and entrepreneurs and showcase their entrepreneur skills. Just to add, in the morning only we signed an MOU on this occasion with 𝐸𝐵. Alok Tripathi happens to be one of our alumni, and he has been the co-founder of 𝐸𝐵, which produces primarily two-wheelers as of now, and trying to venture into four-wheeler segment as well. Few of our alumni also made us proud at the national level. One is 𝐏𝐚𝐧𝐿 𝐶𝐚𝐧. We all often call this girl as the poster girl of our innovation ecosystem. 𝐏𝐚𝐧𝐿 𝐶𝐚𝐧 has produced established Nadi Pulse diagnostic and has got the IU's Startup Challenge of 2022, honored by Honorable Prime Minister. Another prominent innovator from GL Bajaj is Negi Jha. This person has created eco-friendly and cost-effective storage system, cold storage for the vegetables for the low-income group, and he has got the first prize in the Urban Smart City Mission in 2022, also featured in Shark Tank. As for the incubation is concerned, we have been very active. We have established a Section 8 company called GLBCRI. We call this GL Bajaj Center for Research and Innovation. We also bagged the first rank because we are having around 40 plus incubators, and we are highest in the under UP in the Start UP initiative. The mission of or the involvement of the management can also be reflected from the contribution that is assured by the management of 2 crores for the students who will be investing their time and effort in a startup. The college is ready to support that as well. In addition, just in the near past, we also been identified as one of the Nidhi Prayas centers by DST, and we will be receiving 3 crores funding over the period of 5 years. So with that set of motivations, we look forward to extend the journey with you people. And the way forward is we need to have a deeper industry academia engagement. As of now, we have some 70 odd MOUs, which are active MOUs, and we try to partner with industry as much as possible. So we want to extend that further. Not only the MOU, as I said, active MOUs are around 70. There may be more MOUs which are done which never made a real impact. So we will request all of you to come with us to strengthen the collaborative work and support the innovation ecosystem that we try to develop at GL Bajaj. With that, I extend a warm welcome to all of you once again. We seek your partnership. Thank you very much for finding time. And as I said, I try to place before you all the vegetables that we have produced. Hopefully it will impress you, and as you take us through this panel discussion to your insights, how the industry is going to shape up for next few years. We'll try to go back, work on the budding engineers that are coming up, and try to give it the best flavor that is possible. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, sir. I hope the presentation must have primed the audience with what's in store. We hope best is yet to come, as many more memories will be created and cherished in the coming future by our students. It has undoubtedly enlightened the minds of the one and all present here. We are ever grateful for your constant guidance and support, sir. Thank you so much. Now, moving forward, I would like to request Ms. Deepthi Khurane ma'am, Country Head, India, HR Success Talk, to welcome and brief the gathering with the HR Conclave. Can we have a big round of applause for her, please?
A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Deepthi Khurane and I'm representing India for HR Success Talk. Today, on behalf of HR Success Talk, I would like to welcome all of you to the HR Conclave 2023 and 31st HR Strings Meets by HR Success Talk and 𝐴𝐬𝐬𝐢𝐵𝐺 Institute of Management and Technology. Today, we are here to discuss the topic of recession, a myth or reality, and the evolving role of HR in leading organizational change and strategy. We are delighted to have this opportunity to bring together students, academia, industry experts, and professionals to share their knowledge and perspective on these important topics. We are also sure that this will be an enriching experience and interactive session to explore the latest trends and developments in the HR domain. And we look forward to gaining valuable insights from our esteemed panelists. I'm also honored to have the opportunity to present the HR Success Talk to all of you today. And before starting, I'm delighted to share that HR Success Talk is celebrating its 11th anniversary this month, and I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the volunteers, members, and partners for this incredible achievement. So once again, welcome to the world of HR Success Talk. HR Success Talk, it's a community of 150,000 HR professionals and business leaders. We are not only in India, but we are a global community, and we have our footprints in India, UAE, Ghana, Saudi Arabia, Costa Rica, and Philippines. And I'm very happy to share that we are launching our Iraq chapter next week, officially. Many of you must be thinking that why one should join this community, a global community of 150,000 HR professionals and business leaders. So there is a reason why you can become a member, you can become a volunteer, or any of our partners. So first of all, to become a member, you don't need to fill up any registration form or do not need to complete any of the formality. You can just go on the social media, hit the like button, and you are part of HR Success Talk. Now, why you want to join us? So there are 3 key reasons which will make you join this awesome community. So first, share and learn. So in this platform, you will find many people or students who has begun their career, someone may be in their mid of their career, or someone has reached a certain level of career. So people may seek support from each other, help each other in sharing and learning from each other, sharing their problems, getting solutions, and many more career guidance and advice. Mentors and mentees, definitely people can get. So many students who are looking for the career guidance, beginners who are might be stuck in their career, they can find mentors here. And also we have people with rich experience in our team who can support and look for the mentees to support people, students, so that they can grow forward in their career. Networking is the key, we all know. So here you will get an opportunity to meet professionals from different backgrounds, industries, locations, and countries. So you can use this network for your benefit. You can find a job for your business opportunity or anything you want to achieve. You can definitely go to this platform and have your own benefits. We have a prominent presence on the social media. Just go through the Facebook, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Instagram, everybody you will find HR Success Talk. So do not forget to hit the like button and follow button to get the latest updates from HR Success Talk. Like every organization, HR Success Talk also has a vision. And the vision is that we want to become a global and one of the largest community over the globe where we can involve and invite people, HR professionals, business leaders to come together to share their problems, find solutions, best practices, and learn from each other to build great workplaces in future. How this community is sustaining, how we are operating. इतनी बड़ी कम्युनिटी है, क्या हम लोग काम करते हैं, कैसे काम करते हैं? People must be wondering. So to sustain this community, we have a wonderful learning ecosystem, and I will take you through each and every ecosystem in the future slides. Webinars. When the pandemic hit and everybody was at home and not able to connect with people, we started our webinars. So now again we are moving towards the in-person conferences like we are today. So for that reason we have holded this webinar vertical, but till now we have done 38 webinars since April 2020. This is our 31st HR Strings Meets, and it's been 5 years we are organizing this meets, inviting HR leaders, collaborating with colleges and organizing such wonderful events to help colleges, students, and of course to the HR professionals who wants to learn new things and want to know the latest updates about the HR industry. These are some glimpses of our conferences from the previous events. Now, in the March 25th, we are going to have one of our huge event, which will call the Annual HR Summit and Awards 2023, where we are having the insightful panel discussions, top 50 CHRO awards, networking, and many more surprising activities. So stay tuned on our social media handles to have the further updates. This is our HR forum. This is a platform where people come, ask their questions, and these questions will be answered by the senior HR professionals or anyone who wants to support them. So you can also visit our forum. We have one of our vision that we want to create a video library where people can come and learn about the HR domain. So for this, we have created this YouTube channel where we have uploaded so many playlists based on the HR domain, which you can go through and learn like a course. Some of the playlists are like on learning and development, HR analytics, HR audit, and many more. So in case you are interested and want to explore your knowledge and understanding about the HR domain, go through the videos, you will definitely learn out of it. Global Excellence Awards, one of the very prominent vertical we have, where we recognize and appreciate the efforts of HR and business leaders in different categories. So far, we have done 6 awards, and we are going to launch our 7th series of award in the next month. These are some glimpses of our past award events. These are the media coverage of the awards. Like Video Library, we do have a website, and there we have 232 plus blogs on our website on different HR domain. So in case you learn about HR not only through the videos, definitely you can go to the website and refer these blogs. The Elite Club. This is one of the recently launched vertical which we have in Delhi, Faridabad, Gurgaon, Noida, Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, and Dubai. So this is an invite-only club where we invite CXO, CHRO, and head of departments on the breakfast meetings or the lunch meetings for some brainstorming discussions, identifying the solution for different problems are facing by the HR industry. These are the glimpses of our previous Elite Club meets. I would like to congratulate GL Institute of Bajaj, Institute of Management and Technology for this wonderful collaboration here. And of course, we have a college collaboration vertical where we tie up with so many colleges and universities to help students, academia to achieve their goal, whether finding jobs, placements, trainings, and organizing such sessions. Now, let's meet our founder and global CEO, Mr. Govind Singh Negi. So So thank you for this round of applause for him. And of course, he genuinely received this round of applause for creating such a wonderful platform and helping people. But he is not the only one is behind the success of this community. He is also having a panel of advisors who support him in finding the new strategies, giving new ideas and supporting him in taking this community to the next level. These are our global chapters which we have, and you can see the country heads. This is our team. So I must say, this is not just our team, these are the stories which we have behind the success of this community. So everyone you are seeing here, some of people are sitting here as well, have their own stories and their own motives to join this community. So if you want to join us this community, we all are sitting here. You can definitely get in touch with us. We are just not a normal community, but we are a very organized and professional community which work in a very professional and organized structure. So this is the glimpse of organization structure which we have in place and the different hierarchies. Basis on that, our team of volunteers are at different levels support each other to operationalize this community. Do you also wish to volunteer and you want to support us? We are here. You can ask your questions. You can join the community. You can be an advisor. You can be a volunteer. You can be a mentor or a mentee and help people. So do get in touch with us. Any one of you want to be part of this wonderful community. Thank you. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for just introducing the audience with what your organization is and what are we going to have in this conclave. Now, moving forward with our panel discussion, I would like to invite my colleague to host the occasion and take the things forward. Thank you.
Every recession brings out the skeptics who doubt that we will ever come out of it and who predict that we will soon fall into a depression. As sure as the spring will follow the winter, prosperity and economic growth will follow recession. I, Manohar, on behalf of GL Bajaj Institute of Technology and Management, is very delighted to host HR Conclave 2023. We have with us 5 very eminent HR professionals to discuss and enlighten us on the topic recession, a myth or reality, and its impact on Indian companies. The moderator for the panel discussion is Mr. Govind Negi, Head of Talent, Europe and India at 3 Pillar Global. He is a dynamic professional with an experience of over 22 years in business strategy and talent management. Thank you, sir, for being here with us. It is a delight to have you here as moderator for the panel discussion. I request Director, sir, to welcome him with a sapling. I request you, sir, to please take your seat on the stage. Our first panelist for today's discussion is Mr. Kushagra, Director, Talent Acquisition at Jungly Games. He has been associated with the talent acquisition industry for more than 15 years and specialist in business growth, team building, executive search and recruitment consulting. I request Manju ma'am to welcome him with a sapling. I request sir to please take his seat on the stage. Our next panelist for the discussion is Mr. Subnesh Sharma, Senior Director, HR at VVDN Technologies. He is a professional holding 16 plus years of experience in HR, talent acquisition, HR analytics, and talent management. I would request Manju ma'am to welcome sir with a sapling. I request sir to please come on the stage and take his seat. Next we have in panel Mr. Viney Kaushik sir, CHRO at Newberg Engineering Limited, Delhi. He is very senior HR professional with 33 plus years of experience. Currently, he is working as CHRO at Newberg Engineering. I would request Mr. Anil Khatri sir to welcome him with a sapling.
भाई हट जाओ।
I would request sir to please take his seat on the stage. Our next panelist for the discussion is Ms. Supriya Sharma, Associate Director, HR, Person Automation Solutions. She is a senior HR professional with over 18 plus years on global role and like to volunteer for knowledge sharing platform related to human resource and law. Ma'am has well-rounded experience in various dimensions of HR. I would request Anil Khatri sir to please welcome ma'am by a sapling. Ma'am, please join us on this. I would request Govind Negi sir to please start the panel discussion.
Yeah, thank you very much. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Let me take my notes out first. So, before we start, let me just do my job of a moderator. And we are talking about recession. And I think that's the topic which has been spoken a lot in the past. And there are a lot of confusion about it. And you will hear mixed kind of opinion from people when you start talking about recession. So I thought, let me ask the audience, because I see a lot of people who are already into the industry and they are well aware of what's going in the market right now. So let me ask three opinions. And my question is, do you think recession is a myth or reality? So I will ask how many of you feel it is myth. Then I will ask how many of you feel it is reality. And then I'm sure that whoever is left is confused. So that's well taken. All right, so let's try that, and hope you guys will be honest enough and candid to raise your hands. So how many of you think that recession is a myth? It's not here. Raise your hand a little large, like longer, and just awesome. So there are many people who think that it is a myth, it's not a reality. Okay, how many of you think it is a reality? The recession is here. Okay, great. Oh, I see a lot of non-faces also. Looks like their company are not doing good. So whosoever is left means that they are in confused state. So I think that today's conversation will be very interesting. We're gonna have a very rich panel from different industries. And I could tell you when we were preparing for this and having conversation, and one of the things we realized that we as a panel don't come to one conclusion whether it's myth or reality, which is great, because I think there has to be a debate. It is a perspective of the industry you are in. So I think you will get a very fair idea of what's going on. And from our keynote, I think I pulled some of the ideas of what he thinks is going on is in his industry and what is his opinion. So let's start from there. And I'm aware of the fact that we are a little short of the time, so I have requested my esteemed panel to take care of the time we have and make the best out of the conversation we're going to have, right? So let's start with the real core question. And maybe we can start from you and then we can go this side. In your opinion, and specific to the industry you're working, if you can give a little bit of side of the industry you are from while you're answering the question, and then telling us, in your opinion, based on the industry you are from, what do you see? Do you see the recession is here, or do you think the recession is not here, it's not going to come for you?
Yeah. So thank you very much, Govind. So technically, if I talk about what is recession, it is basically when 2 consecutive quarters the GDPs are down. And having said that, we are all global economy. COVID, be it Ukraine war, it has all impacted the global economy. I would say that yes, companies are foreseeing it, that it would be there. How soon it would come, that is, they are not sure of. But yes, it is a reality. It could be a reality in future if those GDPs or the losses are not being controlled by the organization. And as Govind mentioned, that how do I see from my organization perspective? So we are all global. We have companies, head office might be in Europe, might be in US, or XYZ country, or be it in India. So when we say this thing, it is very obvious that yes, we would be impacted. And same with Emerson. Emerson is an industrial automation organization. And manufacturing is here, but at the same time, if anything get impacted overall in the world, it would have an impact in Indian economy also. Yes, we are growing because jobs are coming to India, our GDP is increasing, but somewhere we would be impacted in future if it is not controlled. That's my thought.
Thank you, Supriya. Mr. Viney.
Good afternoon. Govind, I have to respect both. A few of my friends raised the hand for myth and remaining for reality. Yes, Supriya said rightly, I think, technical definition of recession. That's true. But this phase of recession, if we at all call it a recession, is different from the other recession in the past. Because there's a reverse relationships. Usually recession means the loss of purchase power, unemployment, and industry close, a lot of things are depression kind of situation. But if you see, inflation is high. In US also 12% or something basically, and US is suffering from the recession at the same time. Then how it is? That means this recession is perhaps on the back of Russia-Ukraine war or post-COVID era and a lot of other factors, not only just economics in the past. India for sure less impacted, I will say, because recently finance minister also declared in the parliament that there is no recession in India. And if I recall, after 1980, which was caused because of the severe drought, and agriculture was the major factor of GDP those days, India has not suffered very high recession, basically, honestly speaking, in the last 42 years or so. Here also, because we link unemployment directly with the recession many times, basically, we are industry professionals. And Google is very predominant, the 12,000 number is circulating. But Sundar Pichai said at the same time that we are the same number as we were in November 22. That means they are hiring also at the same time. It means it is not the bad performance you are firing, it is not underperformance of employees or something, rather they are restructuring their business. That means gaming vertical is going and AI is strengthening. That is kind of situation basically. And quiet hiring and different kind of hiring is taking place at the same time. And the people who are fired, maybe they are not getting the same salary, but getting the job at least very soon. It means the other organizations are hiring the people at the same time. So recession sometimes looks for the people who are affected by this is a reality. But in general, I personally feel it's a myth, because I have hired in my own organization 378 precise number, 22 calendar year when I closed and my team submitted the MIS. 378 in one calendar year, when the total strength of the organization only 700. And at the same time, 223 people left also it means industry, there are a lot of opportunities. High attrition, 28-29%. So yes, we have to respect, but yes, affected person, it's a reality. But in general, I will say, companies growing. It's a sectoral depression, I will say. In some sectors, maybe edtech or some e-commerce or some IT. But otherwise, in general, we are doing well.
Awesome, that's good to hear. So we'll start with Subnesh.
Sure, thank you. So I agree with Vinay. I think in couple of sector, this slum is visible, right? But it does not mean that it is going to impact the masses, right? For those respective sector, the business professional, professional who are working in that area, they are getting impacted. And there is hue and cry because of those people only, right? They are coming out, they are talking on a social media and everybody listen to them. And that's why everybody start thinking, yes, it's a recession. I'm not saying that there is no down in the business. It's a down in the business for sure. And there are valid reasons for it. Ukraine war is one of the major factors, right? So there is something which we cannot say no to it. It's an impact. It's an impact on Indian economy. It's an impact on the business, what you do with the similar healthcare industry even, right? Lot many organizations, lot many sectors are being impacted. If you see from a company point of view, so I represent an organization which is into product engineering and manufacturing division. So my manufacturing division is booming a lot, right? There is a little low on the software side. And that's the reality because we have a majority of the customer coming from US, UK, right, similar market. So impact is visible. Now question comes whether it's a myth or reality. I'll still say it's a myth. Reason being is because it's a very limited set of sectors only, right? Yeah.
Thank you. First of all, thanks for inviting me for this and to the institute as well. So I represent like a very interesting industry, that's gaming, right? And we heard from Vinay that gaming is actually growing. But is that like a reality for them? For us, yes it is, right? A lot of my competitors have actually been affected. But then we need to actually understand, I'm not that strong in economics, first of all. I always understand it from a perspective in terms of how the market is actually trending and who's actually coming in place in terms of investing back into you, right? So me and my CEO, we were into a very interesting discussion in terms, and this was like in early 2022, right? And we were always discussing in terms of a lot of investors are coming and pushing a lot of money back into the Indian organizations, which are actually startups, grown-ups, or maybe they are actually in that space. And we were expecting that bubble burst is going to happen, right? Because a lot of money has been put. And is the market really taking it back in terms of the consumer, which is us? Are they really looking at that setup in terms of being really favorable for them, right? And that's where everything went for a toss, right? Most of the organizations which were actually investor-led, they were not really like the investors itself were not from their core business unit, and they were not able to understand the sentiment of that organization in terms of how it will grow, right? That is where the whole turmoil actually happened. E-commerce, gaming, and primarily the IT industry has actually hit. And that's why you see the biggest names like Microsoft, Amazon, all these companies, including Google, right? They have been in that state. But will it be like, and I want to add the fourth angle to it, right? Is it chaos? I believe it is chaos, right? It's becoming chaotic now in terms of that, it is a reality for sure, but is it chaotic? I don't think so it's chaotic. It's more about in terms of what talent do you hold, right? Are you really relevant back to that talent? And while I was listening to all the previous speakers, I was understanding in terms of what anecdotes they were actually throwing out, right? Are you really relevant back to the skill which is actually required in an organization, right? That is where it becomes like a real threat to you, right? Whether it's ChatGPT, right? Whether it's an AI, whether it's chatbot, can it replace you? Or are you progressive enough in terms of holding it, right? And learning from it and applying it to your own skills, right? So yeah, that's what I have to say. I think so it's a reality, but I don't think so it should be taken at a hoax level, right? And we need to actually just work upon our own skills. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kushagra. And I think that's really interesting. That's what I was saying, that when you go through this conversation, you might realize that there are diverse opinions depending upon the industry you are from. So let me put what I see from an IT industry perspective, because I think that's where people think it's more real as opposed to people from manufacturing and other places. And this is the article which I would like to refer, and I was reading that, and it was about recession, particularly in terms of Indian context, like Indian market context. And there was a very interesting thing out there. It says that because the Indian economy used to be very dependent on US economy, especially the software function of it, because of the cost difference. It's very obvious, right? The US companies wanted the IT companies in India to take over the work. This is cost effective, and you get people who still have the same brain which they find somewhere else. What started happening is that the Indian market has evolved in a way that now Indian companies are also getting business from Europe and even from India. So this is the competitiveness they have started building. So this talk of recession, and I think chaos, to your point, has started since long. It's not the first time. Like this is the conversation which is going on since long. Like I'm listening about recession like almost 1.5 years that it's coming, it has never come, or people have officially not agreed that it is there. But what I think it's happening is that, especially from IT, and you know what, these IT companies make a lot of headlines. It's also about headlines. It's also about PR. So when you listen to Twitter and all those companies firing people, you realize you thought that every company in the world is firing people. And now we heard from Viney that they are also hiring people, right? It's not only firing people. I'm sure there are many other industries which are hiring, and they have a different problem because of that. It's the challenge of finding the talent, because you're losing talent as well. So you have to find that. So there's another game going on other than recession at all. But what I would say is that gradually, because the Indian companies are not dependent upon the US market entirely, the whole 2022, when the US economy actually suffered, they are suffering. It's very real, right? It's not that they are not. Their markets are going down, and their inflation is very high, and the businesses are going away from people. But in those situations, I would say that the country like India was getting benefited, because look at from a client perspective. The client wants to control the cash flow. How they want to control the cash flow? The first thing you take hit is the value add you are creating in the system. They say cut the value add, just keep on essentials. When they start doing essentials, they say, okay, let's find cost-effective ways to keep your essentials on. And that's where they say, okay, India is the market we should go. 2022, Indian IT companies got a lot of benefit out of it, and that's precisely the reason that you might have seen that bubble, because a lot of business has started coming to business, wherein US was talking about recession at that point in time. But now, it's too long. It's 1 year too long that now I think the Indian IT companies are also started feeling the heat of it. So for IT, I think it's a reality. I would not say the IT industry is struggling right now. They have frozen their hirings or made it very, very controlled. They have the challenge, as I think our keynote was also saying, that there is a challenge that we have bench on place, and there is no buyers for that. Now, how do you sustain in a respectful way is another challenge which IT companies are facing. So I'm going to tweak a little bit of my questions to you guys, because there is no clarity, and we have diverse one. But I know even if there is no uncertainty, there's no you feel that it's not a real, let's say in your industry, I'm sure there are some other problem you are facing because of that. And you mentioned that it's very, very difficult to hire people because you are losing people as well. So let me ask you, what are the impacts you see, Mr. Viney, right now happening? And I know that what you mentioned, one you mentioned about is not only people leaving, but it's also the struggle of hiring people. And there's a lot of, I think, business coming to your way. So talk about that a little bit.
Sure. Again, I will emphasize, we all have different kind of challenges and different kind of problems, basically. And specific to the industry we work for, that's true. I work for hydrocarbon business, that means refinery, petrochemicals, fertilizers, these kind of plants we build basically. And oil and gas business, precisely if in the layman language we understand that, that's highly geopolitically influenced business worldwide. And capital goods industry, that means $5 billion and $3 billion, these are the huge projects basically being built worldwide. And in India also, lot of projects have been announced in the recent past. And this particular business does have very unique character because the project is for 5 years, 6 years, and after that the product goes to the market basically, and then this not because of recession, because of other factors, this industry does have its own kind of a V or W kind of economy basically, which goes on cycling always, because you have to announce the project, and after announcement the project takes the zero date maybe after 2-3 years, and after 5-6 years completion of that project, then again goes little bit next project, because where this money will come from, like this it is, and geopolitical issues. So because of COVID, and this kind of industry cannot work online or work from home. One has to be at the project site physically basically and do the job. That way it is. So because of COVID, it was highly impacted worldwide. There was no travel. There was no movement of humans basically across the globe, and like this. So those 2 to 3 years went differently, and all the projects were held. So the moment COVID was lifted and the ban was lifted, all the big players announced their projects. So suddenly business came basically. So that was the thing basically. When post-COVID and Ukraine-Russia war, other industries felt the kind of so-called real or false recession. This industry actually was booming. That way it was basically. That was one. Second, the company specific, the organization specific, within the industry, how a company thinks and how the promoters and owners and the investors think for that organization. Here, categorically, I will indicate the Indian companies basically, not MNCs, because the theme also, how Indian companies. In 2020, when there was a COVID and lockdown and all the things, and we were for last 25 years, 96 to 20 precisely, in the project export. That means we do have the clients and projects overseas, not in India. That which was. And international travel was banned and there was nothing, so there was a cash flow situation. So company did have the option either to close the operations and fund flow situation, because money is money at the end of the day. If we are not doing work, the client will not pay, and how will pay the salary? Or diversify. Let me tell you, Govind, one thing. We all can analyze any organization which enjoys the multi-product or diversified into different areas survived. Actually, that was the key. So that time, in the month of May 20, and I can say this because I'm personally involved, and sharing the experience is, I think, good thought. It is not theoretical. When the people were not moving out of their own room within their house, we 4 or 5 persons came to office and discussed what is the path forward. So I got special pass from the DM of Noida, from Rohini to Noida. And I pasted that on my car basically. It was 5th of May, and initial fear of COVID. And we had for a couple of weeks brainstorming, only 4 or 5 people, nobody was coming to office. What next? So we decided diversify in 2 areas. First, let's have business in India, because Government of India had announced few things for MSME and other areas also, few projects. That was one. And second, international travel is not required. So let's, believe me, that was big decision. The organization diversified during COVID, when there was height of uncertainty, existing business was collapsing, and companies were firing and downsizing the manpower. There was no money, and company thought to diversify, and we diversified into energy business basically. And that time, Government of India was thinking for clean energy, ethanol and hydrogen. We got 2 products immediately: green hydrogen and ethanol for IOCL Panipat, Ashish.
That's interesting.
By the end of 20, right? Immediately after that, that's a new business, completely new business. Now we have 150 people. For that business, we had a lot of people actually. That completely new business, new vertical, new arm of the organization, right? And then the fertilizer for the farmers, because there was big announcement by Government of India, double the income of farmers. That fertilizer plant for FACT, fertilizer and chemical Travancore, still going on. Sulfur recovery unit for refinery, 𝐼𝐸𝐿. So what I'm saying basically, the organization not fearing the COVID and thought, what next? This is there. and we cannot control it. The only thing we can control is diversify, add another business, generate the opportunities, employment, all the things. They not only survived, but they killed the fear of recession, and they called it is just myth, we are here, see it. That way. So thank you so much. It is a real experience basically, and yes, I can say now, annoying my friends who raise their hands for reality, it's actual myth.
Well, that's actually we wanted to know. Yeah, that's great to know, and I think it will be so awesome to hear it again and again. That's a myth and not a reality, because nobody wants recession overall. But I think the learning I got from you is that even if there are tough situations as a business leaders, we have to look forward. We don't have to just get ourselves trapped into the situation. We have to look forward, and also diversification. And I'm so glad, and I think that's what I keep hearing from my friends who are at least not in IT, that the Indian government is doing many things like nowadays, which is making and empowering our industry in a way that they have a lot of funds in India itself. Look at the defense industry, right? There are a lot of things going on in the defense industry. We don't have anybody here from defense, but I'm sure defense industry is also right now at the growth path, because there are a lot of made in India things happening out there. So good to know. I think keep doing it, keep hiring a lot of people. I think it's also a great balance that there is other industries which are flourishing and they are doing better than other industries. Supriya, I'll come to you, and I know that the market situations have always been up and down, and there are a lot of conversation, as you see, a lot of confusion here as well. What is you doing from an organization perspective to even settle what is going on right now? And if you foresee some challenges in future, what are your plans, to be specific in your organization, what is that you're doing? And if you can share some examples and stories with us.
Yeah. So if I specifically talk about my organization, as I mentioned, that yes, Emerson is headquartered in US, and if US economy is impacted, it would definitely impact Emerson in India. But at the same time, we are also on hiring mode. And when I say this thing, it is because all those cost consciousness which has come there, I won't say cost cutting, but it is more of cost consciousness which has come, and most of the positions have come back to India, which were earlier thought that yes, it has to be in US, but they have revisiting their positions. And with that, the hiring has increased. And it is also few things that we have done, right talent. So right talent is not that yes, the person has to be there, that is one aspect. But when we know that yes, attrition is everywhere. So when you are doing the backfilling, you need to be conscious that what is the skill set that you actually need? Is it very relevant to the organization, and it needs to be sustainable. So that is one thing. And travel, as Viney has mentioned. So whenever there is such downtime which is there, the first thing which goes is on travel. So stop those unwanted travel. Travel only when there is a project need, when there is a real need, then only you travel. Restructuring is one of the things. Diversification, as I mentioned, as Viney mentioned, that is the same thing that we have also done. So Emerson has identified center of excellence, and Noida center is more into power and renewable. So renewable is one of the business, though we were into it, but not very aggressively. But due to these downtimes and these changes, we have aggressively moved on to making our presence in renewable. From HR perspective, one thing which I talked about, backfilling of the position, but very important thing which I want to convey to all of you is this is the time where you can actually enhance your learning capability, because sometime you have time, you can make use of various platforms, online platforms, and we are also from the organization perspective, we have changed our training offering, our learning and development catalog. So these are few of the things that we have done. The list is huge, but yes, I think seeing the time, this is fine.
Yeah, Thank you, Supriya. And I think you touched upon a very important point. I see this as a trend, like because the cost of the manpower in US, especially the US companies in Europe, is way high than the cost of the hiring in India. Although there was a time when the Indian IT professionals were also coming closer to the manpower we can get in US and Europe, and we were thinking as head of the talent, like, will that going to impact India as a potential place where people are interested to hire from? Because if both the US and Indian professionals are very close in terms of the salaries, then we lose that particular opportunity.
Just to add one thing, we have seen a reverse brain drain also. So people have, rather than moving out of India, few of them opted to come back to India and start operating from India offices. So that is also there. That trend is also visible.
Yeah, and I would also touch upon the global team aspect of it. I think this concept of global team is also coming up a lot, especially in the IT organizations, where now, because it's very difficult to have people from one specific region. If all of them are from India, all of them are from Europe, so if they are all from India, then you might not be able to find some capabilities you want, and then for that you would like to depend upon Europe or the cost benefit piece of that. So that's really good. Companies are getting more concerned about their gross margin and EBITDA. So that's the way. I think maybe that will be helpful for India to get more and more business. Now coming to you, Kushagra, I know you like Jungly Games is a very tempting platform, and I'm sure games people will always play it irrespective whether there is a recession or not. What I wanted to know, and that particularly I wanted to know from a context of academies and colleges and university, but also in general. And my question is more about hiring, right? So you are in an organization where you have a platform, and I'm sure this platform is doing that very good. How is in terms of hiring? Are you controlling yourself? You're looking, watching, or you're hiring very aggressively? And also not only lateral hiring, but also the hiring of freshers. So what do you have to say there?
Yeah, so I think so, like good touch, like points which have been touched both by Supriya and Mr. Viney. How are you like really looking at not hiring aggressively and looking at in terms of how you want to control your cost? And the cost control actually starts with hiring, the first place, right? We have always been talking about capacity planning internally, right? Which also leads to the part of talent management, which means a person who's already sitting at a 60% capacity and the hiring manager is saying, hey, I want to hire another person. So why not actually fill this person the 100% plate, right? Rather than actually looking at growing to a size of what a mammoth could be and then thinking of, hey, have I done it right? Have I like really grown the right size, right? So I think that is where Jungly has taken the right step. We were very aggressive in 2022, right? When I joined in December 2021, they were almost in a size of 300, 350 people. We are at this point in time 700. But then we slowed down on November, December. That is when we started looking at in terms of the market economics are actually changing. And we as like an organization, we are directly joined back to the consumer like us, a gamer, right? A person losing job will not come back to my platform and play that aggressively, will not put a lot of money back, right? So how do you like really be on the top of your game? One, in terms of retaining that core talent, not going very aggressive in terms of hiring and doing it. Coming to the campus piece, I think so we did this year, we came to GL Bajaj and to a lot of institutes, which means we have hired from campus and we'll keep on doing, because that's the layer which needs to bring a lot of fresh ideas. Has the campus piece overall affected the industry? It has, right? I have visited a lot of top NITs, IITs this year. And while I was actually interacting with the placement teams out there, the students, they are saying that companies are taking a lot of time in terms of coming back to them, giving them dates in terms of hiring. So that has been there. But that doesn't reflect back, because in one of the slides you are seeing a person getting 58 lakhs from Palo Alto. Which means that if the talent is right, it will still be hunted, right? So I think so out there, if you're talking about from a campus perspective, it's more about that, are you really looking this as a threat, or are you making your more upskilled? So that the organization, when it comes in and it's looking at almost like 200 plus students, how can you outshine, right from that perspective, and the continuous, which doesn't mean that you're getting hired with Palo Alto. You might be getting with a company which might be paying a bit less, but after that also, are you making yourself competent enough in the industry that at one point in time, you're almost at the same salary of that guy who's at Palo Alto, maybe 6 years down the line, right? So it is all about in terms of that talent intake will never be actually a question in terms of the companies are hiring or not. I think so the shift changes in terms of that where we need to hire, right? Looking at our internal capacities first, and then also looking at in terms of what is that talent which needs to be hired. That's very critical.
Awesome, thank you, Kushagra, and glad to know that you are still hiring, and hope the people play a lot of games from your portfolio.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Okay, good. And he said that the money also goes to his pocket when somebody plays. So we get that. Okay. But I would like to touch upon that, and I would say that I've been talking to many IT companies, CHROs, because in past few months, I got a lot of calls from colleges and universities, especially people who are in corporate relationship. And there was a sense of fear. And primarily because in many colleges and universities, many students are from engineering, like the IT. And there are a lot of strength out there, right? And the recession has no doubtly impacted IT more than any other industry. Now the question will be, to your point, we have to look at the cost reduction factors. We have to take care of the people we already have, as opposed to going in the market and start hiring. And there was a sense of fear that we might not have as many corporate as we had in the past. And I can tell you that the colleges and universities have enjoyed the era when one student had multiple offers too. And my friend Ashish is here from HCL, so he might know that better than anybody else. And I myself personally, in my whole career, realized that students also back out. I've never seen that. I saw it in the very recent bubble time when you were mentioning that students were saying, no, we don't want to join you. Or they joined and left in 3 months because they got a better hike than what we were promising them. So they enjoyed that time too.
Which doesn't mean that the recession is there, right?
No. It is not that. It doesn't mean. By the way, again, the recession is there or not depends upon which industry. Like Viney saying that they are having fun and good, and we as an IT are saying, okay, what do we do now? Right? So that contextual. What I'm trying to say is more from IT perspective, because I was talking to the IT and colleges and universities are more talking about IT hirings because they have BTech and B engineers, right? And many students opt for that. Majority of the students. So mechanical and civil, I think, is not that popular nowadays in terms of academics. And I think that fear is not wrong. When I spoke with the head of HRs in IT companies, I realized that they all said that they are going to slow down with their apprentice hiring or cut down their apprentice hiring. Now, what does this mean? And I'm talking more from the fresher hiring perspective, is that the colleges has to be more proactive in reaching out to the corporates which are hiring, even they are hiring less, because they will go to any college and corporate into it. So we have Ashish here to catch hold of. All right, great. So I know we are already late, and we have to also value everybody's time. What I will do is I'll open up for the questions to all of you, and there are a lot of students who are also there, and of course people from industry. Do ask the questions you have from the panel. But before, and as you are thinking about the question you want to ask, let me go back to Subnesh. And my question to you is that you heard a lot of mixed opinions, right? Nobody knows where we are going. Yeah. Right? So I'm going to ask. We know where we are going, right? Yeah. No, we know where we are going. I don't know where the industry is going. The toughest question of this panel discussion is to you. Okay. The question is, good. When do you think, like, how long we're going to stay like that, or this is going to be confused state for a longer period of time? Do you have any numbers in your mind, or some month and year when you think this conversation will be over? I'm hearing since last 1.5 years. So the hardest question to you.
Great. So if I have to decide, I can say it should end today only, whatever the perception is there. Okay. But that's not the reality, right? I think, see, you look at the numbers and the market scenario today, right? We are looking at impact on Indian companies, but that impact is not being created by Indian companies. It has come from the market. And market is a mix, great mix, right? I remember a few days back, somebody shared one WhatsApp video wherein it was written, it was a video which was talking about, when I put money into stock market, immediately it falls down. And when it falls down, I thought it may come up, so I put more money so that I can make money. But then it further goes down.
It must be me who sent that message. That happens with me. Whenever I put money, it goes down.
So scenario is like that only, right? We anticipate lot many things from the market, but we need to see where market is heading, right? There was a time when people were running behind healthcare, right? And last 2 years we have seen it. Everybody started talking about healthcare. We should pay attention to healthcare, medtech, right? These are the technology which are going to come up because it was a real need in the market, society, economy. It was a real need. Now, if you pump in your money for that, believe me, you'll definitely bloom, you'll grow. But what if you are putting your money into something wherein it is already getting down? Don't think that you are going to recover so easily. And that's the problem, that's the irony, and that's the thought process which is happening with most of the investors across. Right, I as an investor, if you think that I should put money into something which is already down, I will never do. Right, where I should put in my money? I should put money where I see the feasibility based on my analysis, based on my predictions, that I can get some results out of it, ROI, return on investment, as simple as that, right? So last 2 years, thought process, people have analyzed, people have started thinking around it, and they identified couple of areas, sectors. The number one is healthcare and medtech. People are talking along, right? Second thing is manufacturing, right? There are certain divisions under this, where Indian government is also supporting, right? Electronics manufacturing is greatly supported by Indian government also. Why are we dependent on outside? Why can't we do it in-house? PLI schemes, production linked incentives has been announced. Because of the same reason, right? Because there is a great potential in India itself. Why should we depend on outside economy? Right? So impact will be there. Maybe I think I'll borrow certain words which Supriya has mentioned initially. You know, 2 quarters consecutively GDP is down. It's typically being considered as recession. But whatever experience we have seen in the industry in the past also, so-called recession did not survive more than 18 months in a nutshell. If impact was visible in US market last year, what you were also telling, right, Govind? Say from last year we are listening that recession, we are already crossed logically. So it should not go more than 2 quarter or 3, worst case. So in a nutshell, within this year. Yeah, this will end. So even though people are taking as a reality, I will still say it is going to go away. Question is where to pay attention and what should we do? We should pay attention to fintech market. It's going to boom. Recession was there, so-called recession was there, but it is going to boom. MedTech is going to boom. There are a lot many, decision has been taken by Indian government wherein they are ready to invest money into MedTech. Why are you not opting it? People can opt it. Entrepreneurs, they can pay attention to it. EVs is again another industry, right, which is booming, right? So we have our own set of thoughts which are absolutely respected, but look at the industry where it is going. Look at the need where it is coming from. Look at the capacity where it is coming, right? And align your investment accordingly, your thoughts accordingly, and manpower, resources, what we are going to have. When it comes to, I would like to add on what you have said from the campus side. One side it is a campus, another side it is an industry, and we understand there is a big gap. And we try to fulfill that gap from long time. There is industry-academia collaboration keep on happening. Even we are affiliated with GL Bajaj also for that. Now, if my requirement today is cyber security, am I getting a student who has fair understanding, if not fair, fundamentals about cyber security? Answer is no. Then we are saying, okay, it's a recession. But that's not the reality. Demand is there, supply is not there. Why are you calling recession? Right? To add on to Vinay, what you said, when you were brainstorming with 5 set of people sitting alone in that, in your office for weeks, trying to figure it out, how can we utilize this set of resources? You try to find out upskilling, reskilling, or other opportunities that will never give you a thought of recession any day. The moment you know where you are heading or what are the opportunity as a business owner you have, align your resources accordingly. Everything will automatically go away. So straight away to answer to your question, Govind, I think it is not going to last more. It's hardly one quarter or 2 quarters on a higher side.
Yeah, I love the confidence you have. Great. So we all hope that the recession will be over by the end of this year because we had enough of recession. But I think there are a lot of industry where there is no recession at all. I have more questions for my panelists, but I think to be respectful to the time, let me open up it for questions from people and then take it forward from there. I see some hands are raised already. So I'll go with you, sir, first, and please tell to whom you have your questions for. Okay.
So good afternoon. So it was a wonderful decision on myth or reality. So I am from the supply chain industry and I have been in the industry for past 13-14 years. I'm heading the HR of Holisol Logistics. So what I say, it's my suggestion to the institute and to the newcomers also. With the Narendra Modi coming out with the new logistics policy, there is a big emphasis on the supply chain warehousing. And we struggle for the skilled manpower for our company and for our industry. What has happened with the IT industry, with this COVID and work from home kind of culture, nobody wants to come to the warehouse and to the floor for the work and to spend the time onto the floor. Everybody wants to have work from home kind of mind. All the supply chain we have a huge immense potential for the manpower. We require huge manpower.
Sir, you have to come to your question.
Yeah. So we don't have that kind of budget or that kind of salary we can offer as per the IT industry, but we have opportunities. And also with the institutes and the newcomers, freshers, you need to think twice which industry you want to go, and supply chain you can come out of the mind from the work from home, think to spend time on the floor. So this is my suggestion to the newcomers and to the freshers and to the institutes also.
Okay, so that's the suggestion, no question, right? I thought this is for me because we are a work from home permanent company. So sorry about that we might have impacted, we might have spoiled all the IT graduates. So you can talk to me and right, thank you. Sir, do you have a question? Yeah, okay. Yeah, please be brief on your question and to whom you want to ask that.
Sir, my question is for Mr. Viney from Newburgh. Sir, is there when will we see jobs in two-wheeler hydrogen internal combustion engine, and if there will be any jobs in that?
Yes, hydrogen. Even though we have commissioned one plant and for IOCL Vadodara, you must be hearing Modi and Gadkari had announced basically 2 years back that from Ahmedabad to Statue of Unity, Sardar Patel, they will run the bus with hydrogen fuel. That was the plan. Yes, if you are looking for hydrogen, honestly speaking, let me tell you very honestly, in this country, huge opportunities on daily basis. We are in hydrogen and lot of projects are coming up. If you have the skill and talent in this field, you will be spoiled for the options. That way it is. So after the second session, after this session, second session also we will attend. After that, meet me, and if there is something, I'm the one we can discuss.
That's awesome. Thank you very much, sir. I will take one last question, or let's say 2, and we have to be brief on the answers, and then we'll close down. Yes.
Hi, very good afternoon to everyone. My name is Gaurav Joshi. I'm representing Genuine Mantra. We are into recruitments and trainings. So my question to all the panelists would be that what would be your advice for the employees who are already working and the employees who have been laid off to tackle recession? Employees who are already working and the employees who have been laid off to tackle recession.
Yeah, who wants to take it? The first one. Okay.
Yeah, what's your name?
My name is Gaurav Joshi, Genuine Mantra.
Gaurav, सुनो, अनिल जी के साथ जब बात करते हैं ना तो कुछ ना कुछ सीखने को मिल जाता है. तो इंस्पायर्ड फ्रॉम अनिल जी, आपने 2-3 शेरबाजी कर दी थी अपने लेक्चर में. ये एक बड़ा पुराना सा शेर है और उसको याद रखो. फलक को जिद है जहाँ बिजलियाँ गिराने की, हमें भी जिद है वहीं आशियाना बनाने की. ये सारी बेकार की कहानियां हैं, ये आती जाती रहेंगी. आज मार्केट ऊपर है, कल मार्केट नीचे है. I have seen the employees and I'm receiving the CVs who have changed 10 companies in 15 years. So that's absolutely fine. These are the phases basically we come across every 5 to 6 years for 6 months or 8 months. 11 months is the average time when it comes, 18 months is the highest, as Subnesh said rightly. So don't worry for these periods. I'm sure about this. If you have talent, that's some more lucrative opportunity waiting for you. Because there are companies, and the companies they are firing. Always I have seen, unless they are closed, they rehire more whatever they have fired in the past. It's okay.
Thank you very much.
So Gaurav, more specific to your question and to everyone is when you start thinking that yes, you are on a job and you stop learning, that is where the problem starts. So when you are in the job, keep learning. That learning curve should be active. Do not wait for company to come to you and then you do some mandatory online courses or get yourself enrolled. It is very important that yes, you yourself go out, do some courses, see what is there in the market. Few of the companies have that financial assistance program for higher education. Make use of that. So that is one. And people who are laid off, as Vinay has mentioned, right now they are laid off. The reason could be different. You know, you see number of stories on LinkedIn, 20 years of experience in Microsoft and then laid off. There could be something else. Microsoft might be getting a person who is of current contemporary technologies at a much lower cost. That might be the thing. Maybe that person has not upgraded himself or herself. So just think from that perspective, and we all should be doing in that way that yes, we all need to keep our learning curve always on. The moment you start thinking that yes, I'm done, I know everything, I think that's where the problems start coming up.
Thank you Supriya and Vinay for answering this question. As we are running short of time, we're so sorry. Sorry ma'am, you can reach out to her later. We will definitely be here. I think we have to be respectful to everyone's time here, and we'll definitely catch, you can talk to us. Now let me, as a moderator, try to conclude what we hear today. Hope we have not confused our audience more than they were already. So here is what I think I heard. There are particular industries which are getting impacted, and there are industries which are not. In fact, there are industries like manufacturing we spoke about are having a different kind of problem where they see a higher rate of attrition. And now their challenge is basically hiring, so the recession is not a question for them. The second thing I heard is that Indian economy is becoming more self-reliant, and I think it's not necessary that we get impacted by the world so easily. Even if there is a Ukraine-Russia war, we are working on making sure that we have on missiles at home to take care of other things, right? Friendly with Russia and yeah, right. So I think that's what I'm listening, and what I'm listening also is there's nothing to worry about, right? If you as an individual are strong, if you are capable, whether you are a fresher or whether you are an experienced person, you will be okay. And I think you should not be letting your morale down, because recession is very correctly said, sometimes is attached with unemployment, right, which might not be the case. With that said, thank you very much to all my panelists for being here and sharing their opinion. And if you have any questions, whosoever has raised their hands, you can meet them after this panel discussion during the lunch, and please feel free to ask your questions directly to them. Thank you very much, and have a nice day. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. I would like to thank all the panelists for presenting such a fresh perspective on recession. I would like to extend gratitude by felicitating the panelists by presenting a memento. So, for this, I would request Manju Khatri ma'am to present memento and gift to Mr. Govind Negi sir. present memento and gift to Mr. Kushagra sir. Now, I would request Anil Khatri sir to present memento to Mr. Subnesh Sharma sir. Thank you, sir. Now I would request Dr. Vikas Tripathi, sir, to present memento and gift to Mr. Viney Kaushik, sir. Last but not the least, I would request Dr. Arvind Sinha sir to present memento and gift to Ms. Supriya Sharma.
Sorry. How are you? Thank you.
Now, it's time for some fun time with a quiz by Matthias.
Can we have a panel discussion photograph this quickly?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. My team.
Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. So recession में तो नहीं चले गए सब? So can I have attention of my audience here? Good afternoon again. My name is Himanshu Singla and I'm representing a company called as 𝐏𝐚𝐧 here. And 𝐏𝐚𝐧 is basically into corporate gifting and procurement. So anyone who have seen in the real time or got a gift from Santa Claus? किसी को मिला है कभी क्रिसमस पर? मिला है? From the Santa Claus.
Kids become Santa Claus.
हाँ, kids become Santa Claus. So from 𝐏𝐚𝐧 I am their Santa Claus. See, from the size, from the gifting. So I am trying to match exactly Santa Claus. Dress भी लेके आ चुका हूँ. अभी Christmas आएगा तो of course I will do that. So as gifting, today we are here, of course, for some fun. You guys have spoken about recession, and I didn't heard that. I'm sorry, I was out and looking forward with my team on gifting. But today, what we're going to do here is talk about something on gifting, as well as if you're interested. I know you are not, but if you're interested to take some gifts at home, so we can do that. Do you want to take some gifts at home?
Yes.
नो सुनाई दे रहा है? थोड़ा एक बार ट्राई करते हैं. Is it a yes? Now it's good. And on your left hand side, on my left hand side, on your right hand side, you can see lot of gifts. सुनील जी छुपाने की कोशिश करने की मैं ही लेके जाऊंगा सारे. देखो दो अपने अलग निकाल के रखे हैं. MBA के क्लासरूम में छोड़ के आए हैं, छुपा के रख के आए हैं पहले से ही. So from the perspective of 𝐸𝐴𝐧, just brief you what we do exactly, guys. We started 5 years back. We are under a parent company. Our parent company is called as Online Troubleshooters, which is a IT company, web hosting. We have been into the industry almost 17 years now. And 𝐸𝐴𝐧 is 5 to 6 years old baby, where we focus on gifting. Now gifting everyone do, but how we are different, we do it with emotions. Because when you say किसी को कुछ गिफ्ट करना है, is it a formality? शादी में जाते हैं तो कितने पैसे डालते हैं लिफाफे में, शगन में? How much do you do normally? 500, 101, 1100. या फिर पहले नोटबुक देखते हैं कि हमारी शादी में आए थे तो कितने पैसे मिले थे. उससे ज़्यादा नहीं देने और कम नहीं देने. कम दिया तो पता चला वो घर पे बात करेंगे, हमने तो 1100 दिए थे, 501 में निपटा गए. सो बहुत लोग मैंने देखा लिखते हैं. आई स्टिल रिमेंबर माई मॉम यूज्ड टू राइट. 20 साल पुरानी डायरी खोल के दिखाई उन्होंने कभी कितने पैसे देके गए थे. देन आई वेंट फॉर अ मैरिज, तो वहाँ पे कैश में भी लिख रहे थे. So, emotions, how we can add more emotions to it in gifting? We can personalize it. So, how do we personalize? Can I request my team once? Sneha, Priya? Sneha, can you give me some bottle or mug as a sample? If it, I know it might not.